Hey guys, Flamingo Crossings East is the main campus here at Flamingo Crossings Village. And there you'll find American campus communities as well as Disney programs offices. Here, still at West, is where you'll basically find maybe one person from Disney programs at the front desk, but most of it here is just for American campus communities. So we're going to take a bus across to where East Campus is and then have a tour. To get across from west to east, there's multiple buses that go from here to there. And they're all found, as I said in the last tour video, right outside the security building. Now, a slight disclaimer on this tour is that I don't live at East. There may be some things that I am missing in the tour. If you are watching this and live at East, drop a comment below on something that you think is really cool that I missed in this tour. And now, here we are at Flamingo Crossings East. One of the things you might notice is that coming from the West Village, that East Village seems a little more tighter, whereas West, to me anyway, seems a little more spaced out. Whether that's the case or an illusion, I'm not too sure. Out the front, we have the bus interchange where stations start from A and work their way down. And then at the entrance, we have the security gates. And once you've entered the East Village, you're then greeted with what's called the Breezeway. Now, to the left of the Breezeway, we have what's called Apprentice Hall. Here's where you'll find Disney internships and programs offices. And then to the right here, you have Community Center, which is where the American campus community offices are located. So let's have a look here inside the Breezeway. There's definitely plenty of areas to sit. And basically, as the name implies, there is actually quite a nice breeze that comes through here. There's some rocking chairs, some outdoor lounges, giant chests, and again, more seating. So it's a really nice, cool place. And also that's cool is there are PowerPoints splattered around where if you're out here wanting to do some work on your laptop or need an emergency charge on your phone, there are options available. And in fact, that's true throughout all of Flamingo Crossings, both East and West. Let's have a more in-depth look. First here, starting with Apprentice Hall. So here in Apprentice Hall is where you'll find everything to do with Disney programs. Here's where you do your traditions, development classes, as well as, special guests like Jodie Benson or Imagineers and that sort of stuff. Man, look at all those pins and buttons. And figurines. I mean, these two figurines do look awfully familiar.
Oh, Genie, I wish for your freedom. Oh, really? You wish for my freedom? Well, I don't want your freedom. See? These things around my arms, they're cool, man. Look, they're gold. Like to see you get some bling like that.
And of course, Apprentice Hall's namesake has its own bit of artwork up there with some mops and buckets. And up here is a dedication to all the people that inspire and just bring this program to life. Going from the history, beginning of the college program right through to, I guess, the old Vista Way and the old apartments. The college program actually started all the way back in 1981. And although we may complain about our accommodations now, potentially no air conditioning and very thin walls. Look at that. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about my apartment falling apart. And then you got the Magic Kingdom College program. And then in 1988, Vista Way. Who probably in 1981 would have thought that the college program would have led to what it is today? I mean, I believe this place is capable of holding 10,000 residents. It's a weird thought to have started back then and now to come and see just, I guess, what you started. Well done, guys, well done. And up the front here in Apprentice Hall, we have the Disney Programs desk, where any issues or anything that you have, concerns or questions about the program itself, these lovely, friendly people here are here to help. And so this is just one of the many rooms. In fact, that back wall there lifts up and creates an even larger room where we hold, traditions, seminars, all that sort of stuff here. And upstairs is pretty much the same. We got bathrooms over here, more classrooms and all that sort of stuff. Why so many classrooms here over in the Disney Programs office? Well, just think about it. Not everybody works the same schedules. Not everyone is able, to get up and go to a session, in another park or at Disney University and then slog all the way to work. In a way, it is much easier and makes a lot more sense having all the programs, all the training sessions and all that sort of stuff more central to everybody. So that's why it's all here. Although I do think these lamps around the place were a bit of a missed opportunity. I mean, come on guys, just at least paint them white or something. I mean, come on. If you don't know the room numbers, you'll know the room characters. So I'm in Pluto. And of course, what second floor room wouldn't be a second floor room without a nice view? All right, well, let's head across the way into the community center. Stairs, so many stairs. Great thing about this is if you don't take the elevator, you never miss leg day. And being on the 4th floor, well, I can tell you that my calves are very nice and toned indeed. Coming from Apprentice Hall into the community center here. So it's fairly similar, but yet it also has its own vibe. A nice piece of artwork here. Thank you for flying with us. Celebrates all the cultures and countries that make the Disney programs.
Boy, Ted here's got relatives in Sydney, don't you, Ted? Sure do.
Some really cool areas to just chill, eat, chat, do work. Big screen television that they'll play movies on regularly. And right here is another area where you can just pop up there and you've got some USB connections as well as power connections there. Some other TVs here with some chairs where you can hook up some games consoles and just chill with a game or two. They've actually had to remove the doors because they kept on breaking, so I don't know how quiet it makes them inside now. Let's have a look. I guess it still does give a bit of peace and quiet, but definitely nowhere near as much as what was originally intended. Yeah, definitely not as much as what was originally intended. But yeah, there's various areas to do some study or some work. Over on this side here at Flamingo Crossings though, they're based on classic characters, so Pinocchio, Belle, Dumbo and Ariel. And over here it kind of reminds me of the animated palette on board the Fantasy. Just got some really cool knickknacks and some nods to other various cartoons. Just around the corner from the big TV here, we've got the window there where you can basically pick up equipment or anything like that that you need. They have wagons, dollies, or as we call in Australia, sack trucks, to carry like larger boxes. Basically anything you need, games consoles, bowls, all that sort of stuff. And now if we move around here, we have the Great Wall of Vending. Again, same as over in West. Swipe your card, open the door, grab your item, and then it bills you. And also here, coffee machines. And under the stairs here, they have some Macs available for those that didn't bring a computer or need to do some printing. These ones here are hooked up to the front desk, which is strangely at the front of this building here. Again, missed opportunity on the lamps. Come on, guys. So here at the front desk, you'll be able to have any of, like, if you have any issues with your housing, maintenance, your card's not working, all that sort of stuff. That is where you will go for that stuff. All right, let's head upstairs. Which brings us to the Flamingo Crossings Village Fitness Center. Unlike the one over at West, basically once you're up the stairs, you're in it. Starts at the weights, cardio till your eyes fall out. This one I think has more equipment than the one over at West, but I think the one over at West is a little more well spaced out. You're not as in each other's space, I guess. And then of course, every good gym needs a terrace. And in fact, there's even one over on the other side too, which I neglected to mention. And so this is quite a prime view here. So there is actually one thing strangely missing from Community Center here, or Community Hall. Community Center, that's what it's called. But we'll get to that a bit later. Let's check out the hub. Yes, we have been doing a lot of stairs, but I should note that Flamingo Crossings Village is accessible to everyone. Oh, this is a really nice fountain here. Just the sound of running water, I think that's something that's missing at West. There's ramps to go everywhere, there's elevators to everywhere. Everything has a flat or a not so sharp incline. So there's a ramp to get up here at night time. In fact, no, this one's not fixed. All right, the one over at West has finally been fixed. So a nice little fire pit to enjoy at night time. In fact, this is giving me like, yeah, basically town center, Central Park kind of vibes. As I mentioned on the West tour, anywhere where people are actually walking constantly, that is real fake grass. These trees are real though, they're very real trees. Here we are in, I guess, the northern side of the activities area. So over here at the Great Lawn is where most of the welcome activities are currently held. They've only now just started doing activities and events and that sort of thing over at West. Majority of things, obviously because of the space and the rooms available, are held here over at the East Campus. But as I said at the beginning of this video, East Campus does seem a little more, I guess, claustrophobic. Everything seems closer together. It seems smaller, more compact. And that is kind of made a bit more clearer here by how close these buildings are to the Great Lawn. I do feel bad for those who are in these rooms when there are events which usually include a really bad DJ, but some fun times and loud people. Grab a slice of pizza, a drink There's usually, you know, a really cool carnival atmosphere going on here at the welcome events. But yeah, buildings so close. And then on the other side of the Great Lawn here, we have the basketball and volleyball courts, as well as a pavilion there with grills and such. And as opposed to West Side, which has got multiple pavilions throughout, this place only has the one, which I'll show you why in a moment, which is both kind of cool and also kind of weird, but also I'm kind of sad that we don't have it over at the West as well. You have two TVs, one on either side, a lovely set of chairs here, pick your poison, the grills that overlooks the beach volleyball court. And there as well, more room for people just to sit and chill under the shade sails there and enjoy the festivities of either the basketball or the volleyball. I do need to remind you, I don't live here, so I might actually be missing like thousands of tiny little details here that make the East Village just that much better. So if I am, please leave comments down below and I'll try and get to them in a future video. But here I am over on the south side of the hub, which is where the pools are. Now these pools are identical to the ones that we have over in West. Slightly smaller again, I do believe. But then again, also we have grills over here so you can enjoy a swim and a barbecue, as well as hot tubs here in the islands in the middle. So you've seen a swimming pool. I don't really need to go into too much detail, but they are here. And in fact, again, accommodation right there. That is where people live. It does have its positives, I guess, depending on where the sun is. There'll be plenty of shade. So that works out well for a quarter ginger like me. But again, noise, and just everything so compact and so close together. I enjoy the space, and I'm so grateful to have the room that I do at West, just overlooking, you know, the swamplands, the pool areas. It just gives me more, I guess that gives me more sense of space. And other than the main hub areas, this is probably the largest space that I've found here over near the Bagheera buildings. And talking about Bagheera, most of the blocks here are named after classic Disney characters. So you've got Archimedes, you've got Bagheera, you've got Cheshire Cat, you've got Doc, and then for some reason they just gave up on the whole idea and went with Edna Mode. As, I guess, a Disney nerd, Eilonwy from The Black Cauldron, they couldn't have used her. I mean, she's a pretty badass woman who, well, is probably a really good inspiration and a pretty good mentor to have. She'll have your back and she'll show you what's what, and mess with her, she'll mess you up. So I'd say that's a pretty good building mentor to have, rather than Edna Mode, whose only inspiration is
no capes!
No capes!
Most vampires and anyone who wears a cape. Capes are cool. So there's that. Just like West, they also do have their own like grill pavilions for each of the mentor blocks. But there is something here at East that they don't have in West that I'm actually kind of a little jealous of. Heading up to the second level, they have these really cool chill zones, like little common areas in the buildings here. Gives it a nice sense of space and freedom, which is really, really cool. Now granted, not every building has these, but I believe it's either every building with a mailroom or at least one building each block. This one is next to the buses. There are some that are in a quieter area, but for people's privacy's sake, I'm staying to the most trodden areas for this tour, just to give you an idea of what there actually is around here. And so yes, there are quieter areas than this one here, and probably more shady areas too. And by shady, I mean, you know, not so lit. Now, I could be wrong, but I do remember watching on someone else's vlog, I'm sorry I don't remember which one it was, that there was also a level on the mailroom level where they also had another chill area, like a ping pong tables, chairs, that sort of thing as well. I think that's closer to the car parking, which is way over on the other side there, which circles around the complex. Now, I did mention before that there was an area missing inside this community center that is in the community center at West, and that is the Parcel Pending service here. It's nice and quiet, nice and cool. Once you've seen one Parcel Pending service room, you've kind of seen them all, although this one is a bit more of a maze. It's like one of those locker rooms at Universal Studios. Which is kind of cool. So there we go. So that's the Parcel Pending room here over on the east side. And last but not least on this very quick tour of the East Village is the Rideshare pickup area. Over here is also where you have the visitor parking as well. In this area here is obviously where you'd grab your Lyft, your Uber, or your Uber Eats. And that is just here, right outside of security checkpoint. So to the left, you've got your buses. To the right, you've got Rideshare. And in the middle and across, you've got your visitor parking. That concludes this quick tour, and yes, it was quite quick, of Flamingo Crossings Village East. Coming up, I'll be doing a brief overview as well of the Flamingo Crossings Center, which has, you know, the things like all the shops, food takeaways, and I'll even go through some of the hotels that are around here. There are actually some really nice hotels, and I believe they're even good neighbor hotels. So if you sign up for a Disney package, or if you're wanting to come here and visit one of your kids on the program and you can't really afford to stay in the parks, the hotels here are actually, from what I've heard from people who've stayed here, are actually pretty quality hotels. So more on that on a later video. But my conclusion for this place is, you know, I like West. West does seem a bit more expansive in the way that it seems that there's more room, whereas here everything just seems so close together. We have a few like different large avenues that go through West that also kind of make it seem a bit more, you know, spaced out, whereas here I think they've only got three, like two going one way and then one big one going the other way, which kind of cuts through the pools and everything like that, but then also hits a dead end itself. So yeah, I'm glad to be at West. West is best. East, I wouldn't say it's least. It's actually a pretty cool place too. As I said, it's the central hub for all activities, events, and that sort of thing for the time being. And yeah, the pools, yeah, they're a lot more sheltered from the elements, so you're not as subjected to the wind and all that sort of stuff as much as you are over at West. But at the same time, that also makes for quite a nice time in the hot tub, just in a nice warm water, but also enjoying a nice cool breeze at the same time. So for now, thanks guys for watching. That's my rough overview, my take of Flamingo Crossings East. If you want to keep up to date on more of these videos coming out, hit the subscribe button and also click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any alerts of future videos coming up. All right guys, until the next one, bye for now.